Greetings Duolingo fans. Today I'm going to share you my secret and my experience about how to gain a lot of XPs in a relatively short time. So you probably know that there is an option in Duolingo called Duolingo Stories. These short stories give more than 20 XPs after completing one story, and you can do these in a few minutes. So my experience is that I did about 500 XPs with Duolingo Stories in 1 hour, and that is a lot. Just imagine if you were doing your brand new language courses, especially the harder levels like crown levels 3 and 4 and even 2, and these take a lot of time, you know, to push through. So Duolingo Stories is a very good option. I can also make XPs in shorter time using crown level 1 and 2, because these are not as difficult as, you know, the 3, 4 and 5. And I can do these lessons in a relatively short time, and I can get 15 XPs for completing one lesson without any mistakes. So it is also sort of fast, but if you decide to go, you know, practicing, that is also good, because I believe that you can also gain 15 XPs if you complete a practice lesson. But I think that there should be a balance between practice, new material, and Duolingo Stories. I also have some Duolingo Stories that I completed like 3 times, and after the third time or even the second time, it is not that challenging. So I do not recommend learning Duolingo for gaining XPs and these achievements and medals like I do sometimes, because that can be very stressful. I experienced on myself that after making 2000 XP in a day and becoming first in Diamond League, I did all the new Duolingo Stories, and I didn't want to continue just for the XPs, to do these same stories all over again, because they are the same in German, Spanish, Portuguese, and French. And even we have some reverse trees which are very good. I discovered that reverse trees also became available. So like French English was maybe the first, and then English French came. But that wasn't very challenging because everything was in English, you know, and even sometimes the questions were in English, or sometimes the questions were in French, and I had to answer in French. But most of the time I was like hitting the button and listening to all these English texts, which are not really teaching me anything. But okay, I decided that I will do it because I have this mania. I have to complete everything I can, you know, the stories and all the language courses that I do to crown level 5. But sometimes it was a bit more challenging, you know, to read the sentences, for example, in Portuguese and French. And okay, I know already the stories because I did it many times in the other languages, but what is this question about? So sometimes the time equaled, you know, because the pushing the button and listening to the text without reading, because I understand English very well, equaled with the amount of time that I spent studying the question to answer it right. And after a while I didn't have any new Duolingo Stories, and I realized that just like I did earlier, that I can't make that many XP points in a short period of time like I used to do with Duolingo Stories. So yeah, these are my tips. So do some practice lessons, do crown level 1 and 2 if you want to gain XPs fast, and do Duolingo Stories, because I think if someone is motivated by getting achievements and certain medals, that you're a strategist, or I don't know what they say, sharpshooter. These are also good, because if they motivate you to learn, that is the goal, to learn. So if you learn by for getting these, it is the goal is the same. Okay, so you're learning a language, but I recommend not to get too obsessed with XPs like I was, because yesterday I was very frustrated, and even this morning, because I saw that now I'm again this Diamond League bullshit. So I'm now third in the Diamond League, and the guy ahead of me is like now I think more than 2,000 XPs ahead of me, and I can't be, I have some ideas how he might do it. Maybe he has all these Duolingo stories that he or she hasn't completed and now he's doing it, or I don't really know. So I think there is no point really in so for example, you can get a lot of XPs in a short period of time if you practice, you know, the basic one lesson all over again, you know, dog, cat, boy, girl, and all that. But no, okay, so that is what I call bullshit, and then not learning. So by getting XPs that way. So I think nobody's doing that kind of bullshit, because nobody's that stupid, you know, just to gain XPs like a boy, girl, and do these. And yeah, so but it is also good, you know, to set an XP goal for yourself and stick to that goal. So I used to have 500 last week and 300 before that. Maybe I will go back to 300, because it stressed me a lot, you know, that I spent a lot of time, you know, pushing through the lessons, the new lessons, I have to say, because I always do new lessons. I have many courses, French, Italian, French, Spanish, French, Portuguese, French, English, French, German, German, French, so the reverse threes, and also Portuguese and Portuguese reverse threes. And I will complete all of these, but not at once. And so I have many new stuff to learn, and I'm not really hitting practice and doing all the same Duolingo stories again. So yeah, and it is kind of frustrating when, you know, I do everything right except for one tiny letter. But you know that one letter in language learning so means a lot, because the words have totally different meanings. So I became very frustrated. Okay, last week by this time I made like 1,000 XPs, and now I'm pushing through these 2 lessons, and they make me tired, and I was very frustrated, you know, because of this. So I will reach that Zen state of mind again, and just push through the new lessons. And even if new stories will come out, because they will, because I saw that some story finished at part 2 of 3, so there will be more and more, and I will do them, but yeah, not really for the XPs, unless there is something new abroad coming my way. Okay, so thank you, peace, goodbye.